Hello and welcome to another episode of New World Comics Podcast. I'm Buck Berlin, owner-operator of this fine establishment. Joined with me is Stephanie Cerny.
Hey!
Yay!
Hey!
Running this fine show. We'll call it a fine show.
It is a fine show.
Yeah, we have Drew Stone behind the camera, running sound, doing everything, making sure that everything goes up online wherever it needs to go.
Yay, Drew!
Yeah.
Yay, Drew.
Joining with us this week is Zack McMurphy.
Woo, Zack!
Hey! Zack, why don't you tell everyone who you are and what you do around here?
I'm Zack McMurphy. I've been coming into the shop since I was a wee young one. I started coming in around 5 or 6 years old. My dad brought me in and wanted to show me comics and things like that. So we started coming in and... I met the original crew here at Pearls before Buck owned the place.
At Pearls?
At Pearls.
Yeah.
That's how much I work nowadays. It's in my blood. At New World. Sorry about that. So I learned to play Magic the Gathering here. Started reading comics like Teen Titans Go back in the original series. So.
Yeah, like back when it was. I guess it's always been on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
But before it was. So the comic was Teen Titans Go.
Right.
But the cartoon was just Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Now the cartoon is Teen Titans Go.
And
yeah.
Is the comic even still a thing? Or?
Yeah, it's Teen Titans Go also.
But yeah, and I pretty much read whatever my dad put in front of me, and
except for the Bible. No, just joking.
And then from there, I still play Magic today. I played competitively for a little bit. I got tired of that because people are smelling. They made a regulation actually. Did you hear about that? That you had to bathe in order to compete in Magic the Gathering.
Really?
Tournaments. Yeah. If you go to like anything bigger than store events, they're like, hey, if you stink, you can get disqualified.
That is phenomenal.
Yep. The same for Pokemon and everything like that, too.
Really?
All the trading card games, they pretty much made a blanket rule to where if you don't bathe, you can't compete.
Well, because, in a big enough scale, that can get very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's more distracting, especially in a game like Magic where you're reading the cards you have and you're trying to plan your next move, and the guy next to you just reeks of BO. Like, it really takes away your concentration.
I could see where that could be a tactic.
Oh, and it came to the point where I think it was, and that's why they made it a rule. People would just not bathe a week before the competition and then show up and then just, stink and win games because people concede.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah, but
when did that become a thing?
It was probably about 6 or 7 months ago. I saw something about it. And,
wow.
But that was long after I got out of playing competitively. This was 3 years ago that I stopped playing, and I start playing Commander now, which is way more fun. It's more like a tabletop board game. So.
You don't just sit in the restaurant and I'm Commander now. I'm playing Commander.
No.
Sometimes you throw on an eye patch, make it a pirate Commander. Which
I didn't say it.
Hey.
No, and then I started working here. Probably 2 years after I started coming in, doing small things.
You started helping out
Yeah.
at a really, really early age. Like, I wouldn't say, like working it, but,
Right.
like, anytime we had an event or anytime it was, something extra was going on here. Because we used to not do so many events.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had one event a year, and that was it.
Right.
And then Spencer was working at the TV station at the time, and came in trying to do promotions, and he was like, "Hey, I need a robot for a Transformers premiere.
Right.
Have you ever thought about advertising on TV?" Yeah, and I was like, "I'll think about it." He told me some of the prices on some of the stuff. I was like, "I don't know if I can really swing that." And then he came back and was like, "All right, listen. They're demanding that there be a robot at this thing. You have a robot suit, so let's do a thing and see if we can work out something." So we were able to work out a thing, and then advertising on TV worked for us, and we built the relationship there. And then our character at the time was Roblox, and like everyone loved him. It was just this thing that worked.
Oh, cool!
Yeah,
robot. And kids like pictures taken with robots and things like that.
Yeah. So you were enamored with it and wanted to be kid robots.
Right.
And yeah, so I made like the most adorable little robot suit for you.
And that was like beginning of costume creation for you compared to now.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
like the third costume I had made. Yeah.
Super uncomfortable, very hot. You had fans installed in it, which was a nice thought, but
Yeah.
it wasn't enough. I need a full-size fan in that.
Well, yeah,
thing.
well, but I mean that's the best that they had at the
It was
time.
the best it could do.
Yeah, but like I had the forethought that like there's a vent on top, there's fans in the back, and then there was the little chest light.
Right.
Yeah. And you know I had it modular to where your whole suit would collapse down into the chest.
It all was almost telescopic. The feet would go into the head, and then the
Or
legs.
the
shoes
feet, yeah,
went into the head. Yeah.
Yeah, the feet and head kept off the chest,
Right.
which the arms and legs would telescope into themselves,
Right.
and the gloves would sit inside the forearms, and then
About
those would
this
sit on,
big
yeah,
at that point because I was a young one.
yeah, because you were like 6.
Yeah,
Right.
you're tiny.
Yeah, and everything lit up, and it was made out of cardboard duct tape and like lights.
Right. I had lights in the helmet too that were pretty cool. That
Yeah.
the original Roblox didn't have, and
Right.
a bunch. It was like really Roblox, taken to a smaller scale with a little bit more time added. So
Yeah.
it was really nice.
Yeah,
other than the pinching in the arms and legs.
Yeah, but I mean, I was brand new at making costumes,
And
yeah.
I still love doing it, so it was
Yeah.
quite all right.
Yeah, but you grew out of that thing so
So
quickly.
fast,
Like we
yeah.
had 3, maybe 4 premieres.
Yeah, I think it was Transformers, Beowulf, and then Iron Man. I
Oh my God.
squeezed into it for
Yeah, for Iron Man.
And at that point, I was like, no more of
God,
this.
do you
I
remember
need something else.
the Beowulf premiere that like all the historical society people hated us
Yes.
being there?
They're like, this is a historic movie. Why is there a
Why is there a
futuristic
robot?
Yeah.
And then the guy got up in front of everyone trying to like recount the entire story of Beowulf, and they're like, "Get on with the movie," because the guy was just supposed to be like,
Right.
Hey, go check out the historical group club,
Right.
whatever they were doing. Like it was just go check us
Right,
out.
it was their
Thanks.
plug,
Yeah, yeah. And no, he was like full plug, and then halfway through, the guy was like, and then Grendel's mom came in the end. Enjoy the movie. Yeah, but man, like even after they were like, Are you the guys with the robot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was there a robot? Because we're a comic book store.
Because they asked us to be here. I don't know what you want from us.
It's our shtick.
Yeah. Look at our poster. There's
Yeah,
a robot
there's
on
a
the
robot
poster.
on the poster. On the business card, there's still a robot. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you expect from us?
Yeah. You know what we should have done? Put like, various animal skins and weaponry. Vintage robot.
Yes.
It's medieval robot. Yeah.
So
It's still too new.
my earliest memory of helping out here, though, is I remember pushing the coin slot for the X-Men machine. At
On
a
free comic book day.
On one of the overnight sales, we had the X-Men
So-
machine going.
You and your dad were here for the first 24 hours that
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
Because I remember that one, we had Brad Porter doing comedy super late night.
Yep.
And he was doing rather lewd material. And he was like, he went up to your dad and was like, "Are you sure you're cool with this?" He was like, "Yeah, it's nothing worse than I've ever said."
Yeah, if
And
anyone's
then-
met my dad, they know that.
And then
It's
it
hard
turns
to
out,
fit.
yeah, it was a little worse than But yeah.
The worst part is that there was only like 4 people here for
Well-
the comedy hour because
well,
it was at 3 in the morning.
3 in the
Yeah.
morning, and we didn't really advertise it.
No,
that way.
not-
Like,
right.
I thought I did, but looking back on it, like,
It could have been.
oh man, I really should have been like, no, everyone, this is the time.
This is the best time to be. And
Yeah.
the jokes were funny. Like, I
Yeah.
still remember a lot of the jokes. I'm looking-
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're burned into my brain. But no,
Yeah.
looking back, the jokes were funny. And I mean, I still see James and Brad perform relatively
Regularly,
often. Yeah. And they're still funny. Sometimes they
Yeah.
bring up jokes that I've heard here. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's
Somewhere exists a picture of you sitting on the bar stool, leaning on the X-Men machine. It's 3 in the morning, and Brad's sitting there just telling you. Yeah. I don't know where it is, but
it's somewhere
yeah,
around
yeah.
here. I
If-
remember sleeping in the back on a cutout of foam while I was tired and for an hour.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you were. Yeah, because
I was dead set on being here all 24.
Yeah,
I wasn't
and-
awake all 24. But
Yeah,
I
and
was
your
here.
dad was like, if you really need to go home, let me know.
Yeah.
I was like, I can set up a little space for him.
Right.
He was like, that's great.
Yeah, it was just fine.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like anytime that there was event time, you were there. Like whether it was like trying to move heavy comic boxes, which you couldn't, so you just shove on the floor.
Because that's good for him, right?
Well, I mean, like it'd be the diamond box, not the long boxes.
Right.
So you were just like, let's just move. Yeah, because it was just the bulk stock.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. And then eventually you got tall enough that, we would put you in other costumes for the events.
Right.
Which led to the creation of Superhero School.
Yeah, I was here for day one of Superhero School. I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
It was Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the first year of Superhero School, we decided to go alphabetically.
Okay.
Yeah, because
which is challenging.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause-
it seemed like a really good idea at the time.
I feel like when we were planning Superhero School, it was Stephanie, Lori, Lily Keating, and I think Kira was there, and it was kind of odd because she wasn't normally there at the time.
Right.
And me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was us because we had Lily and Keating since, they, had to interact with kids and kind of had the different view of things. And then Lori's more the traditional, and then you and I were the practical business side of it, so we could kind of figure out, what's the best way to go about this. And we decided that, we could try this for a year. And we'll go alphabetically, and then... Yeah, so A for Avengers, B for Batman, C for Captain America, D was Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then E were like, uh-oh.
Well, we did like Electro and...
Yeah, we did Electro with Daredevil because we were like, well, I mean...
We have this costume from last week.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So, because we were like, we can't have Elektra. She's an assassin, and assassins
Right.
kill people.
And then fast forward like 4 years, and we
Oh,
totally
man.
had Electra, and the kids loved it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she totally
Well, there's
died
always-
and came back and
there's
died
al-
and came back.
Yeah.
There's always
awesome.
ways to sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
The Zootopia movie, like at the beginning when Judy
Right.
dies on, I was like, that is how we have Elektra
Yeah,
die.
exactly.
Yeah. So we had Bullseye, kill her,
Right.
and she just, the death and the humanity, just throwing ribbons out. Oh, I'm dying of death.
Right.
Oh, and then and then Hannon just came out, took her away, and then she came back and was like, hey guys, what'd I miss?
That's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Bullseye kills her again.
Right.
And then, the death and humanity. Yeah.
I think one of my favorites. I played Human Torch, right? That's whenever I had the flash paper,
Yeah.
and it was pretty much a fire hazard. But
No, it was not because I made sure.
I didn't do too much flash paper.
Well, I was like, this is how much flash paper. Here's how far you need to deal with it. Well, because when I was buying flash paper, the guy was like, well, where are you going to be doing this? I was like, performance
right.
related in front of kids. I can't sell it to you then. I was like,
because of the kids or because
yeah.
of the performance? What's going on?
yeah, I was like, you can't have kids too close to this. I was like, they're going to be like a good 10 feet back, man. Okay.
I guess I'll sell you this
I was like, it's
weaponized flash paper.
Yeah, I was like, what's the big deal? He was like, it's sent in oil and it has to dry. I was like, cool, man. Like we're not like, hey kid, let me see your
Didn't you
your
have a
hairspray.
magician friend, right?
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
like, this is how you use this.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
And we're like, well, yeah, that's how we did it.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I was like, do we really need to worry about this? He says, unless like someone's hair is like to the level where they're close to Jesus, like,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, he said, just make sure that the hairspray and hair and all that and any fresh spray paint is nowhere near it.
Right.
You're good. And I was like, perfect. Because we were using the neoprene gloves that were coated with the
Right.
anti-flame material. Yeah,
Right.
so like there was no...
It was a hard time getting those rings over,
Rings
those
over the-
gloves.
But yeah, like they were lab tested.
Right.
Like,
I
gloves.
was not going to catch on fire.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully no
because
one
I was
else
like, no one is going to be set on fire by this thing.
That dude at the party shop scared the hell out of me.
Well, no, like I was just like, you don't know my due diligence on these things. Like,
Well, I mean, you work in a place surrounded by paper.
yeah,
Right.
like
that's the last
I'm
thing
not
you
gonna. Yeah,
want.
And we had the fire extinguisher behind the thing ready.
Nearby, ready to go.
Yeah, like there was no risk whatsoever. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time we used a fog machine?
Oh, all right. Yeah. Let's get into that story. So T was for Thor. Oh my God. And I had bought this fog machine because I was like, how cool would it be
Fog
coming out when Thor comes out? It's just, I'm sure we can make a big, lightning noise or thunder noise, and Thor will come out and just, fog will billow out and it'll be amazing. So we tried it the night before, and it was really sad. So we realized that we had to let the entire back room fill up with fog. And then when we opened the door, it billowed out.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Right.
And we're like, cool. All right, let's all go home.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're going to do tomorrow morning.
Right. So, we had it timed out perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. So we didn't have the TARDIS in front of the door yet. So it was just the door with the crack underneath the door.
Right.
And the back room was starting to fill up with fog, with George back there running the fog machine. And I think it was Sweaty Josh or Kenny as Loki.
Right.
No, it was Kenny as Loki.
Kenny as Loki.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then Big Steve as Thor. So
with his duct tape vest.
Yeah, with his duct tape vest.
With bowls.
Yeah. Man, listen, back then everything was duct tape and cardboard, and for being duct tape and cardboard, it looked amazing. Yeah. But oh God, the Loki helmet that was weighted back with pennies.
I remember wearing that
so
whenever
horrible.
It was so heavy.
It was so heavy.
Well, because the horns were heavy in and of themselves.
Well, yeah, because
then you
the
had
horns
the pennies.
The horns were 4 feet long.
Yeah,
So you had to have a counterbalance.
Because no one knew what Loki was. I was like, no, Loki has the most ridiculous horns ever. Yeah. But anyway, so the back room's filling up with fog, and we were doing the I am super, you're super, we are super. And some of the fog started to creep out under the door. And the kids, being the smart kids that they were like, fire! Oh my God, there's a fire back there. I was like, no, kids, it's perfectly fine. I'm sure something else is happening. No, I see smoke. Fire! Someone call 911. Fire! I'm like, no. I bet you it's time for Thor. Thor needs to come out right now, because we had this whole thing that Loki was going to come out and taunt the kids, and I was like, nope, we're just
skipping it.
So then Thor comes out, and the smoke billows out, and it looks amazing. It's absolutely one of the coolest things we've ever done, except the fog kept coming, like a lot. And then it turns out that the fog started to dissipate and kind of rise about 3 feet, 4 feet from the ceiling. And Steve's a pretty tall guy, so by the end of his superhero spiel, his head was kind of cut off in the clouds. And then superhero school was over, and the fog was still here. And we had to get it out.
Open doors.
So we opened the front and back doors, and we just started waving everything, and everyone kept coming in and like, was there a fire? What's that smell?
Just like the kids.
Yeah.
I think you need to call 911.
Yeah, it's was there a fire? No. We used a fog machine, and we're stupid about it. Yeah. So
it's a good idea to contain it for so long.
So yeah, I got rid of that fog machine. Now we just use dry ice. But you have to mash it up into little super fine powder. Dump it in the water first, and then you get the quick whoosh of smoke, and then it dissipates in the big store.
We played with dry ice a lot here.
Yeah. Well, because we had to perfect the thing. Because I was like, unfortunately, no more fog machines. Sorry, guys. So, the stupid superhero schools. I forgot. Yeah, Red Tornado.
Red Tornado was
one of my favorites. I had
that was your first superhero school.
that was my first superhero school being a hero. We had the shop vac hooked up to blow instead of suck.
Yeah.
And I had a tube running up through my pant leg, up through the waist, into my arm.
Yeah.
With the little nozzle connected under the
Yeah,
glove.
because we back then we were like, yeah, let's do as many superpowers that we can. Before I was like, no, power dampener. That way we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But we had it to where like the shop vac was powerful enough that it could blow air, and you could feel it if you were sitting in the furthest back place that you could.
Right. On the back row of
on the back
kids.
row of where
it
the kids
wouldn't
would be.
affect anything behind the counter. But
Yeah, it wouldn't blow over any like we had it perfect.
Right.
Yeah, like we came out and had like cups for you to blow over and like other little we had
a couple like styrofoam blocks. And
yeah, and we had cotton balls and some confetti, whatever. Yeah,
blowing stuff around.
Yeah, and oh man, the kids
that was
were
one of the best effects that I've seen here. I mean,
yeah,
other than the Hulk busting through walls and things like that.
I remember that I missed the prep for it because that was the day that we had the Dave Johnson, Dan Panosian signing.
Yes, yeah,
and I had to go get them, and then they came in right as you were doing that. Yeah. And they were like, "Whoa, what's this?"
It's a shop vac in the back, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, the kids were just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
So like they didn't hear the
right. They were too mesmerized by styrofoam cups falling.
Yeah. When like you were the just perfect robot voice for the thing too, and like all the kids just had all the questions.
Well, because that cartoon was out. What was that? That was.
There was Justice
League, right?
Unlimited,
yeah, where it had the whole Red Tornado part, and that's pretty much what I was.
No, it was Brave and the Bold at the time.
Brave and the Bold, yeah, and it had the whole Red Tornado section, and it was that's the voice I pretty much used.
Yeah.
That show's awesome. So,
yeah, but man, that's still one of my favorite costumes that I've done. That was the first foam helmet.
Really, is that I made? It's still around here, isn't it?
Yeah, I took that one home.
Yeah,
it means the most to me. So. Man, and gosh, so you've done, just because you're kind of on the ground floor, you've done a whole bunch of superhero schools.
I've seen more than my fair share.
Yeah.
Whether I'm helping out with setup and or being back behind the register, checking people out while their kids are watching.
But I mean, you've been a hero.
Yeah,
way more
than I can count.
Yeah,
from everything from Hawkeye to otherwise, it's just.
So what was your favorite costume?
Man, favorite costume thing I look the best in, because I have some bad ones. I can definitely name off the bad ones.
How's this? Let's name off the bad ones. We'll come back to your favorite.
So Silver Surfer.
Oh my gosh.
Silver Surfer was bad.
You will never live down Silver Surfer.
No, it's Silver Gimp. It looks really bad.
But here's the thing: it's the best I've ever been able to make Silver Surfer. Like we tried real hard with Sam to do like a bald cap on him, and the adhesive didn't stick, and it turns
when
out
you get sweaty. It's part of it.
It turns out we were using the wrong kind of bald cap too. Sure. I thought, oh, bald cap's a bald cap. No. Nope. Oh no, I've been told the different types of bald caps that I need to use, the different adhesives. Yeah, because it's not just plain spirit gum that you use.
No.
So, oh man.
Halfway through, you started seeing black hair on Silver Surfer.
His head just started to wrinkle.
Yeah.
He's aged before everyone.
Yeah, it was like, what's wrong with Tin Man? So.
Well, at least he had a mouth. I had black circles around my eyes and no mouth.
So we used a full body silver Zentai suit, and we wrapped your longboard in foil.
It was silver duct tape. We got silver duct tape and we taped it right over the top.
Oh man.
Oh, but we wrapped it in saran wrap first, didn't we? Yeah, so you could peel it off.
Right. Yeah. It was no big deal. It wasn't even a gripped board or anything, so I wasn't sweating it, and it was given to me, so it was big deal.
So for the look, I took the adhesive backed super thin foam, and I cut out eyes. I cut out the shape of eyes.
The creepiest part of the entire face.
I mean, here's the thing, in pictures it looks okay.
Yeah.
But in motion, it's so unsettling. Like
scary.
it
Yeah.
looks like I mean, like when you just see the thing because you don't realize that the mouth is
Right.
supposed to.
And we had kids chase me around the store while I was riding that thing. I remember that.
Yeah.
That.
Because the kids thought you were awesome.
Yeah.
All the adults were very
Very
unsettled.
unsettled.
But yeah, but again, it's for the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. My cousins came to that one, and they never came to another one because I scared the living hell out of them.
But yeah, well, because like the thin mouth and the eyes,
Right.
it works for pictures,
Right.
not for real life.
Second worst is easily Nightcrawler. The Nightcrawler costume you got was absolutely terrible.
The feet
and the hands were
fingers.
very, very bad.
Some might even say suggestive.
Yeah, it was very unsettling.
Yeah.
The blue face paint we had at the time cracked
Yeah.
very quickly.
Oh, it was.
We've come a long way with the paint.
With
Yeah.
paint. Any kind of body painting is way different now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we didn't know better.
Well, it's like when we painted Dre for Hulk. It cracked
Oh my
very
God.
quickly.
Oh my God.
And started peeling.
No, it didn't crack. It
Sweated off.
yeah, it sweated
so
off.
he started dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we found out
Yeah, we
very
did
quickly
not
that
know what we were
Dre just
doing.
sweats a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, you were here for Dre's first day.
Dre's first day I was here, I helped paint Dre.
Yeah.
Very first day.
Yeah.
It was my first day meeting Dre.
And then
I
we're
was
like,
"What?"
oh, now we're painting. This is weird.
I was like, I don't know you, but I'm gonna paint your
Yeah.
entire body. So let's get
Let's
down to
do this.
business. I said handfuls at a time.
Yeah.
yeah. We're like, oh, we thought you were going to be huge.
Because Joe was
Joe
like,
made him sound like he was,
Going to be like this big bouncer guy.
Right, right.
yeah.
I mean, he's not a small guy.
no,
You know what I mean?
But like when you're told that you're going to get a 6'4" bodybuilder,
yeah.
who's cut,
Yeah.
you're like, this guy is so the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then we got Dre, which honestly, I'd take Dre any day.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Over a 6'4" bodybuilder, yeah.
Dre is wonderful.
We need to have another Hulk day and make Dre.
Paint Dre.
Yeah.
Same paint. We're not going to change the paint. We're gonna get the same.
Well, just because he won't shave his beard now, so
Yeah. I feel that though. I don't want to have to regrow facial hair.
I mean, listen, where it's at right now, you just take that down and then it'll grow back looking better.
I guess.
I'm just saying, for those that watching, if you've ever seen the old 60s G.I. Joe dolls, it looks like this. Just saying. Because it's also fake and stuck on with subpar adhesive. Almost ruined a $200 microphone right
So, where does Ultron?
Ultron
line
is
up?
top tier.
Okay,
Ultron
because
was-
I
oh my
love
God.
your Ultron.
there. Oh my god.
Ultron was top tier for
What
me.
happened when you wore Ultron?
Oh my god, I forgot about Ultron.
But
Ultron
The
I-
kids hated
Okay.
me.
I love Ultron
so
on you.
let me set up the whole thing.
We had Joe.
'cause-
That's all you had
yeah,
to say.
your Ultron was very good.
it was honestly one of the best Joe performances
Oh, for sure.
of all time. So we were doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was before the show.
Yeah, it was way before the show.
Because we used to do activities for all the kids, and I had figured out how
Because
to
we had
do like
smaller superhero schools at the time.
yeah,
Like
which
13, 14 kids.
which this one we had like 30. Like
Yeah,
this
it
is
was
a-
the biggest one
we're
we
like,
had
great,
to
it's
date.
a giant one. So and we were trying to promote teamwork and all sorts of other things and
Good
and-
things.
Yeah.
All good things.
So I was like, let's do an in-store obstacle course, and
Which was super cool.
but I didn't figure like where to store the parents during the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they were just everywhere.
Yeah, our parents were having to get out of the way for everything because like we ran them up and down aisles because there was a table that they had to like lift a box up to crawl underneath and
Right.
through, and then they had to come around, fire a Nerf gun at a target, burst through a double set of doors.
And then there were the little punching bags they had
Oh,
to
they had
go
the punching
around.
bags that they they had to punch the punching bags and then they had to go around the little cones. And then that brought them over to this big, massive thing where I glued a whole bunch of like science board or science fair project boards
It was a-
together to make
Hide for me.
yeah, and I wrapped it all in caution tape,
Yeah.
and and you stood there the entire superhero
The entire
school
superhero
for
school. It was like
an hour and a half. You were there.
I was in
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then we had Joe running through as Nick Fury,
Nick Fury helping the kids.
and I had 2 people at the lights.
Right.
So Nick Fury was like, "You kids, y'all did incredibly well. We want to make sure that every single Shield agent is always prepared for anything that they could possibly ever need."
Yeah, no one's left behind.
Yeah.
Like, it was this huge group thing.
Yeah, and he made this big, long, super speech about being prepared for anything and everything. And he started talking about this EMP that he had. And then Ultron bursts out and scares the living hell out of all the kids.
Kids screamed and ran. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to scare them that bad, but I scared them.
Well, because I was like, hey, jump out and kind of scare them a little. And, like, they were just terrified.
They weren't ready. They
Yeah.
didn't expect anything out of that mound of poster boards.
Yeah. But, it was wrapped in caution tape.
They should have.
They should have.
It says caution right on.
For a reason. So, you burst out, and then Nick Fury says, "Kids, I said be prepared." And he clicked his EMP.
Yeah, and the lights
went out, and you dropped.
I dropped, right.
And then
The kids attacked.
well, no, because Joe was like, "And that is how you defeat a supervillain." And the kids were like, "Whoa." Yeah, and then we're like, all right, that's it for superhero school. If anyone wants pictures, and you were committed enough to the role that you were down.
I stayed down. I was down.
Yeah, so
Well, I've been standing in a hot costume
Right.
for
Yeah.
an hour and a half. I was like, oh, I get to lay down now. Cool.
yeah. So the lights came back on, and everyone's taking pictures, and then the rougher kids that were not as
Well, I started to get back up. I was like, okay, I'm ready to get back up for
did you?
pictures. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting up.
See,
and then they're like, no, he's getting back up.
Oh, okay, and that's
And then
why
I
they
got
started
attacked.
kicking you. See, I thought they just went over and started kicking
I
you.
thought
No.
they started kicking you, too, while you were on the ground.
No, I started getting up, and I think I scared more kids because they were expecting me to be down.
I just remember that seeing you getting kicked, and then all of a sudden you got up and "Rah!" and the instigator kid was like tears shot out from her
Yeah, like
face.
anime
the one that was like,
style.
everybody, get him.
Yeah. And then like she turned to her mom and was like, "We're leaving now. I'm not having a good time."
Which, like, sucks, but
Well, but I mean,
so does getting kicked.
Yeah, I was like, you don't kick people, which brought us to our first rule of superhero school: is you don't hurt the. That and Jerry getting stabbed with kryptonite.
Yeah, when he was,
It was Lex Luthor.
Luthor.
Yeah, it was the you don't hurt the superheroes or supervillains. So, yeah, that was spectacular.
But the costume
And then-
was great.
Yeah, and I was holding
superhero
my
school
niece
stuff.
at the time,
Yeah.
like Vivian. She was just a baby,
Oh, gosh.
and you needed
She
help
was
up.
right next to
Yeah,
you.
so I pulled
Her
you
face.
up, and like your face came right at her, and she lost it. She just started crying.
I was like right next to you guys.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry."
Poor Vivian.
Poor baby. Yeah, and you're
She
like,
did not like
you're
that.
like, I'm so because like then you would.
Well, I still had the
mask.
mask on.
Yeah,
And
and-
I knew Vivian at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's just not having it.
Yeah,
Oh.
but all the kids started like jumping on top of you.
Yeah, I was
And
straight up
kicking
not
you.
having a good time.
And like kicking you like in the head.
Yeah, it was bad.
And
It was
like we
awful.
had to intervene.
Yeah.
And
That
we didn't
helmet
know
was
what was
great,
happening
too.
at
Why?
first.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But we had to go over there and intervene because
Yeah.
they were like kicking you in the head.
right.
Yeah, it's not cool, man.
I lived. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But all right, what other costumes do you just love?
Love. On me or just in general?
No, on your costume.
Yeah, or like some of your favorite performances.
I mean, I had a lot of fun as Hawkeye. I had a lot of fun as I played Bill S. Preston.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the
On
Wild
Bill and Ted
Stallion.
Day, yeah.
Ted Day.
Yeah,
Me and Josh Flowers
We're
did
really
the Wild
good.
Stallions.
Oh God, the kids hated you.
They hated
so much
because it was on Doctor Who Day. and
Yeah, that was
kids
so
loved
good.
Doctor Who, and they were really into it. And then time travelers.
Time travelers out of a phone
I
booth.
have a phone booth.
I was
here.
like, how? Because I was really proud of myself
Yeah.
on that one.
It's like,
We
oh,
loved
that's
it.
clever, and I was like, sweet,
Yeah.
I love that movie. Let's do it. And Josh killed it.
Well, and the fact that you all kept coming out.
Yes.
and
They would boo us away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're trying to leave.
Well, I
Oh
learned
my
my
gosh.
lesson after Flash Day the
Yeah.
first time. Because
We did Flash.
yeah.
No one got it.
Yeah, well, because I dressed Big Steve up as Flash Gordon.
Right.
And he came out and was like, "Hey kids, Flash Gordon here, the first superhero ever. Let me tell you about the history of Flash Gordon." They're like, "Where's the real Flash?" And like, no, like even the parents were like, "Where is he?"
Oh my God.
And he was like, "I am so sorry. I can see I've offended everyone. I'll be right back.
Well,
Let me go get the Flash."
That's the same day George did old school Flash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He killed it then too. That whole costume was super good.
But from then on, it was I'm not gonna pander to the audience. When I know a thing's funny and a thing is great,
Right.
We're gonna, because afterwards all the parents were like, "That Bill and Ted thing's my favorite."
I still have that
Yeah.
crop top.
That is
Wild Stallions.
I have the same flannel.
I'm just saying, the new movie's getting made.
I'm ready.
Whenever, we'll do a Doctor Who day just so you all can. We'll have Drew dress up as Marty McFly.
Oh, he's ready.
He's like, "I'm in."
Done.
I've got
like-
the hoverboard.
I'm sure he has a hoverboard. Yeah.
Of course he does.
He's got the whole outfit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Done.
Like, the only reason it's not in his car right now is because it's too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you saw those. Nike made those shoes that fasten themselves. They're super expensive, so I don't know if anyone has them.
Drew has them.
Wait, hold on. No?
I got knockoffs.
Like a true American.
I don't blame you. They were silly expensive, but
And some of those things are impossible to get. Like, when I found out that there were Godzilla shoes,
yeah.
because, like, I don't, shoes aren't my world. I don't
Right.
really, like, I don't really go shoe shopping. Kira
Well,
was like, "Hey, you need new shoes. Let's go."
You
So-
had the same pair of flip flops the entire time that I worked for the store. So
Yeah, well, same type.
Right.
I used to burn through them a lot, but since I got these leather ones, like,
well, you know what you like, you get what you get.
yeah, I get what I get. But I found out that there were like Godzilla shoes.
Right.
I was like, all right, well, I see a size 13 in my future. Let's go to the store. Oh, they're how much? You know what? I love Godzilla enough. Let's do this.
Sure.
And they were like, no, man, like everyone's sold out of it. Like,
Yeah.
no, you had to be in line and pre-order and do all the, like, I was like, so this is like a comment? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't just like, hey, we have all made these tons of Godzilla shoes. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's a specialty
No,
item.
they don't mass produce their special shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, I'm so crushed. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll play the online game. Let's go look at how many thousands of dollars
Yeah.
are these things? Yeah.
Resale is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
So-
like one of my favorite pairs of shoes that I would love to have is the Alien Stompers, which I think was made by Nike as well. But they did the boots from the first Alien that Ripley wears the whole time.
Yeah.
They have a knee-high shoe that laces all the way up that looks exactly like that, and it's amazing. But it's like $3,000 for a pair, so there's absolutely no way.
Yeah. When I went in and talked to the guy, he was like, man, just like regular shoes people will buy and flip. I was like, what?
Yeah, if they're not like even like your Godzilla shoe or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like just brand new shoes.
Yeah, my buddy Mikey buys and sells shoes. That's how he makes money. So.
Oh, stupid Mikey.
Yeah. What a silly name.
What a silly name.
He's still been out of shape about that. Yes.
Oh. I guess for context, yeah, you brought up your friends one day and like everyone had a fairly normal name, and I just felt like picking on one of the kids, so
Right.
I picked Mikey, the kid with the most normal name. I was like, Mikey, really? You're going by that?
Which is funny because that's not his first name's Jonathan. It's Jonathan Michael, so he goes by Mikey.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah. No, he's a super nice kid.
Yeah.
I say kid, he's an adult now,
Yeah.
but you're all kids to me.
Yeah, you are still a kid.
No. Yeah. Martindale's nephew brought in a kid. Brought in a friend. I was
Right.
like, really? You go by that name?
Yeah.
And then he started doing it, and then I was like, okay, listen, I was just having a joke. It's not really a
Decent name.
It's actually a good name. My dad's name is that. Yeah. He was like, oh, okay.
Given all these kids' complexes.
Well, I mean, some kids are like, yeah, shut up, you're stupid.
It's
And
good
like,
for
yeah,
them.
you're not wrong, I am. So, you gotta mess with the kids because it shows that
It gives them character.
yeah, it gives them character, and it shows that yes, that you can interact with people at different levels. Yeah.
It's one of the best things about working here at a young age is you meet so many people and interact with so many different kinds of people, and whether it's they're outgoing people. I've seen people who are normally shy, and then as soon as they come in here, you see a totally different side of them. So it's really nice getting to relate to people on a different level, which has helped me beyond this job.
You're a manager at what is it, Joe's Crab Shack?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it really helped me learn how to deal with people of, different backgrounds and just understanding that people are all different.
Yeah,
So,
and when it comes down to it, folks are just folks.
yeah, and that's what it boils down to, and that's a
it's
big
just,
part of what I took away from here.
yeah. There's a lot of different cultures that seem different, and when you boil them all down, they're not much different than yours.
No.
So yeah, if you look hard enough, there you can find a commonality.
Right.
And lo and behold, this whole store is typically the commonality.
Yeah.
Yeah. The day that I figured that out, it was my third or fourth day here, and there was a guy who was like a highfalutin like stockbroker.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would save up his change and
Come in and buy comics.
Yeah, like X-Men was his jam.
Yeah.
And then stockbroker guy, X-Men was his jam.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget exactly what was coming out of the time then, but they started talking about their favorite X-Men. Both of them their favorite X-Men was Nightcrawler, so they were just like back and forth, like, oh man, when he did this, and, oh, did you ever read that issue where this happened?
Yeah.
They were getting along like like nobody's business. It was so cool to see them be so connected. Yeah. Whereas any other situation, stockbroker guy wouldn't give that guy the time of day, like wouldn't look in his general direction.
Right.
And here they are acting like best friends.
Right.
So, it's always been the coolest part of this place.
Right.
So,
other than the Nerf Wars.
I mean, oh man, see that's another thing that we can blame Spencer for. He came back from the Iron Man premiere and was like, "Hey, they gave us this box of guns after the premiere. This, Nerf blasters.
Yeah, box of guns.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Do you want them?" I was like, "All right, cool." And he was like, "You have to give most of them away." I was like, "All right, fine, whatever." Yeah. So
Spencer knows you pretty well.
Yeah, well, he really didn't at the time. But, yeah. So we gave all but one of them away, and I kept one.
Right.
I was like, I've never had a Nerf gun in my life. Let's try this out. Oh my god!
They stuck to me.
Yeah.
In my Roblox costume, they stuck to me.
Yeah, because they had little suction cups on
Right.
the end. And I was like, this is hilarious.
That was so fun for you.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Well, and the Iron Man ones, like, shot out like 6 or 7 like in a row. It was like, ba, 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 ba.
Right, and it had a whole magazine.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, have you never played with Nerf guns? And everyone else brought up their Nerf guns.
Oh man, how the times have changed.
Whew.
Now who has the arsenal?
I mean, I may or may not look like Chuck Heston in Nerf. It's funny, because like I'm not a big like real gun guy, but like when if it's Nerf or Busby, yeah,
It's Nerf or nothing.
it's Nerf or Busby or Airzone or whatever knockoff Nerf.
Right.
Yeah,
Foam dart gun.
foam dart blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, for your graduation party, we had a big Nerf war.
Huge Nerf war. It was 3 people's graduation party, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was me,
Do you remember?
It was me, Abigail, and Mitchell, right?
Yeah. Mittens.
Mittens. Good
Do
old
you
Yeah.
remember your cake?
I remember my cake, yes.
Oh
It
my
was-
god.
A
go
super
ahead.
special cake.
Super special cake. We all had individual cakes, didn't we? Yeah.
Well, no, I think you had the
Yeah.
same one, but you had different
In
characters.
different parts. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh man. So speaking of Mitchell, I was talking about this on a couple podcasts ago. Cassidy was helping us set up the con. And I was like, "Yeah, Mitchell's gonna help watch the store during the con." and catches Mitchell sucks Mitchell.
Yeah. It's still written in the store several places.
Yeah. But I just loved that it was the
Mitchell sucks?
Mitchell. Yeah.
Good old Mittens.
Yeah. So
that was the same day you gave me the Iron Man book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave me the first appearance of Thanos.
Yeah. Well, because you've been such a big Thanos fan since before the movies.
Well, yeah, you handed me I remember it was when I first started actually helping out, really helping out here.
And getting truly, it was probably 3rd, 4th grade for you.
Yeah.
And you were genuinely reading comics because I would
beyond Teen Titans Go and stuff like that.
I would read those too to keep up on everything going on, and then I would ask you about them to make sure that you kids were reading your books, and you were reading them more than any of the other kids, and I gave you the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, first you gave me Thanos Quest.
I gave you because I know what order everything is. Yeah. So I was like, here's
you
Thanos
can't just
Quest.
hop into Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. So.
Well, and the thing about, because I reread it several years later, and the thing about Thanos Quest that's so crazy is it breaks down each stone individually. It has a whole panel, a whole two-sheet spread on each stone and what it does, and it gives you a visual representation of what it looks like whenever the stone's acting.
Yeah.
And it shows that you have to be super powerful in order to harness that, and I was like, oh, Thanos is so awesome. He can handle anything, and then he hoses himself in the end.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing that the movies never touch on is that Thanos, when he puts his mind to it, did win, and Thanos will win every situation as long as he is confident in himself. It's the problem with Thanos is that he is his own defeat.
Worst enemy.
Yeah.
Well, it was his obsession with death, and then the fact that Adam Warlock still had that connection to the soul gem and knew what it would take in order to.
He didn't feel that he was worthy enough of having that power.
Right.
That on some level he was like,
Well, it came to the point. There's a panel in Infinity Gauntlet when he's like, "I've won. I've done this for you, Death," and she's like, "You're too powerful for me." He said, "You've surpassed Death," and then he's like. And then he creates his own demise.
Yeah.
So it's
but I mean it's not the
before
first
that
time,
he is just steamrolling everybody. Whenever he backhands Captain America to death. That was my Facebook panel for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean anytime that he achieves omnipotence, he usually lets it slip away.
Yeah. Well, and at the end, he's sitting there being the farmer that he is.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, I've had a good run."
Yeah, this is the end of that.
Yeah. Good luck, you guys.
The fall of a titan.
And then, of course, it was insanely popular, so they beat that horse to death.
Yeah.
Don't read the Infinity Crusade.
I tried. I was like, I'll give it a shot, and once the gauntlet got back to Adam Warlock, it got all believe me, I like campy books. I mean, my favorite time is Silver Age, Golden Age stuff. So old Fantastic Four stuff. Like that. It was all great, but whenever the '90s comics tried to do campy, it was not great. So
and then right before I think it was right before your graduation, I bought a collection and that was in it. And, it right as the book was heating up and everyone was after it, I was like, I know a lot of people want this book, but I know someone who would love this book.
Yep.
So I gave it to you.
I have it framed next to that. Whenever I didn't win the Amazos, whenever I lost it by it was two costumes.
One costume.
One costume. I lost it by one costume. Jerry still drew me that picture of Thanos, and I have it framed in a UV protective frame. I have that book right next to that picture that Jerry drew me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I won't sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
It just means so much
I've
to you.
opened it and read it once, and then I will never do it again. So,
we can't end this thing without talking about your absolute fear of clowns.
Oh, I thought we weren't going to talk about
we
that.
almost skipped over it. I tried my best.
No, we didn't, because I've been saving it for this. For those watching the this podcast, we have a special video for you.
Oh no!
Do you remember when you were tearing down the Batcave and I had Blaine come and scare you?
Oh my, that was the worst. You're like, yeah, just
Oh,
well, 'cause
man.
I was gonna scare Blaine, is what it was.
Yeah, so let me set it up for everyone. So the Batcave is typically made out of a whole bunch of paper. So when you tear it down, there's just this big giant mountain of paper to which a person can hide in. And Blaine told me that he had just found like a Tim Curry It mask.
Uh-huh.
And he
Right?
Was, yeah.
And I said, hey, I need you to come scare Zach because it's going to be amazing. Let me know when you're on your way, and we'll get this set up because I'm going to tell him that he's going to jump out and scare you. He says, great. So I said, oh man, Zach, you know Blaine's super jumpy. You should jump out and scare
Well, he
him.
scares me all the time. You know what I mean? Just random stuff. He just, pulls it out because he likes to scare people.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm finally going to get him back.
Yeah.
It's years of redemption.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So Blaine texted me. He says, hey, I'm here. I said, all right, come on. I was like, Zach, now's the time. Go hide. So you're hiding in the
Mountain of
in the
paper.
mountain of paper, and then I do the. All right, so the son's gonna be like, I'm gonna say hi to Blaine. So, sup, Blaine? And then he goes, ah! Then you go hiding again, and then Blaine tries to find you, pulls up the like a big piece of paper, and then like you scurry further into it. Sup, Blaine?
How's it going?
Oh man,
Well,
yeah.
then Dre came up. That was a
When I made the
Joker henchman.
yeah.
That was a good one too.
God.
Oh, well, there was the one where when I just made the regular clown mask just out of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I feel like I gave you a gift or something.
No, you gave me a Christmas bonus. is
Oh,
what
that's
you
right.
called
Yeah.
it. And you taped a bunch of $1 bills to
Over
a
this
picture of a clown.
Horrible
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 painting.
painting.
picture of this
Horrible.
clown. And yeah, so
And you wrapped it. You
Yeah.
wrapped it first in white gift wrap with a clown face painted on it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you're like, I don't want to touch it. So you open it up, you're like, oh, cool,
Money.
It's money. Yeah, and it was all just ones covering up this horrific clown
Just
painting.
Sheets of ones. You had to have just
It was-
gone to the bank and
It was,
taken.
it was 26 ones.
Yeah. It was, and then covered it. And
Yeah,
then,
and I had lightly taped it.
yeah.
So yeah, you would like. I was like, start at the bottom, so you peeled it off. I was like, it's got a special picture, and you were a dumb enough kid.
As soon as I saw the hand with the glove on it going like this, I was like, "This is a clown, isn't it?"
I was like, no, and you, yeah, peeled it off, and then you saw the picture, and then you ran after me and started kicking me.
It was an unsettling picture.
Oh, it was
very-
it was the worst clown picture I could find.
It's the reason to be scared of clowns.
Yeah, well, so yeah, and then there was one time when I had you on register, and I taped in a little picture of a clown, so when it
Into the
popped out-
register.
yeah, so when it popped out, or the times that I had you sort comics, and I put a clown drawing in with
In
all the
with
other,
all the comics,
Yeah.
One of the backer boards, because we would change the boards because they would start to yellow,
Yeah,
and things like that.
and then you'd
I'd
pull out
pull
the
a backer board out that you
the-
put in there,
and there was a clown on the bottom.
of course.
Yeah, I'm a good friend.
Yeah, you're something.
I helped raise you.
I did spend a lot of time here. Yeah.
You really did. Oh man. Well, Zach, it looks like we're pretty much out of time. Is there anything that you want to say or do before we call it quits?
Well, no. Other than just thank you for keeping the space open. I'm not the only one to say that. I'm
Oh,
sure.
well, thank you.
It's
yeah.
it's a fun place for all who come. So
Well, for most of you.
other than the jerks, Right.
Besides me. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, Zach, thanks for finally joining us. We've been trying to have you on for at least a year now.
Yeah, I'm so glad you had time to join us.
Yes.
It makes me so happy.
You know how it is with the works and
Yeah.
The works
stuff.
and growing awful beards.
Yeah.
And
I gotta concentrate real hard.
Try harder. All right. Stephanie, thank you so much for putting up with us. Drew, thanks for recording this. I'm sure that there's those that will not thank you for recording this. We'll see you all next week.
See ya.